Tell you another story. About 9 months ago, a mother of 5 already had a full-time job. She had more than enough going on and a husband that she had her hands full with. And she heard a word from God. I want you to open up your home. I want you to open up your family because there's so much brokenness in the land, and I want you to foster, and I want you to be willing to keep that child for as little or as long as you may need to. And if I call you to adopt, I want you to adopt. Now, can we admit for a mother of 5 who already has a full-time job and a husband that keeps her hands full, that's crazy? Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you something. Most Christians that she went to talk to urged her to stay in the boat instead of walking on water. Most Christians came with, well, you need to count the cost, and you need to do this, and you need to figure out. And listen, I'm all about counting the cost, but I want to stop quoting count the cost, and I want to start quoting, you'll do the same things I've been doing and even greater works when you actually believe it. Because we're a culture that's all about counting the cost and figuring out and rationalizing, and we're making ourselves our own gods. And every hero God ever called, Noah, I want you to build an ark. What's an ark? It's a big boat. It's never rained. It's going to take you 100 years. Build it. Abraham, I want you to leave everything you've ever known and just set out. Esther, I want you to stand up. It could risk your life. Right now you're safe, but if you say it, the king's probably going to kill you, but it's the only hope of saving your people. Step up. Deborah, no man in the kingdom will stand up and actually be a man. I want you to stand up in an age when women don't have a voice, and I want you to go lead the army. Gideon, you see yourself as a weakling, but I say that you're a mighty warrior. I want you to believe it, and if you'd see what I actually have, I want to dwindle down your army, and I want to show up and shock you in story after story after story after story. There's not a single hero that has a rational, boring, understandable, logical story, and that's all I seem to see in modern spirituality. Fortunately, this mom of 5 was willing to believe that God still speaks. She came to her husband and said, this is nuts, but this is what I'm hearing. And he got quiet and he said, yeah, that's right. And you might be at the place that you say, well, why does this concern me? I'll tell you this, for a 10-month-old girl, that matters a whole lot right now. Because Jesus wanted to come to town through an ordinary believer, and we could have missed it. I promise you, every place your foot steps, Jesus is waiting to show up and manifest. I promise. He wants to speak through you. He wants to speak to you. But we've got to get rid of this category that says, I'm not